Hello, welcome to July, welcome to this, I don't know, it seems to be that we just keep going higher and faster and that it's more intense, and I don't know about your recollection about the Sirius gateway, the Sirius portal, but for me it's always been a doozy, and I have to tell you that Gaia has told me that this 7th of July of this year of 2023, which is a 777, but we're also in a 777 today in another way. We've got a few of these 777 energetics this month, and she has said that this 7th of July will be the biggest energy, or this coming to it, this the biggest energy that the earth has ever received. So get that. So look, I just found a button that I've never seen before, and God only knows if I'll ever find it again. But anyway, they're massive, aren't they? These energies are massive, and I know that lots of people are in pain. It's this really challenging time where the energy comes in and we can get into the mind about it, especially if the pain is in the head. The advice that I can give you is to attempt to bring it down into the body, talk to it, ask what it is, and then try not to be in a story with it. But we, this first week of July, it's like it's totally time to surrender to ourselves, to surrender to our soul. So this week, let go of everything. Let go of all and any expectations of control, of old thinking, of old operating, of old behaving, of any programs or patterns or addictions. See it all clearly and surrender it. Just let it go. Allow it to shift. Be gentle with it. Be gentle with yourself so that you can see it clearly. Come into wholeness. And a lot of time for just checking in with self so that you can do that. Because we have to let go of all of the old, all of it, all of the old that holds you, that holds me, that holds us. This movement, let it run all the way through us, through our world, bringing in any further clearing, releasing or purification. The veils are being lifted in our world, and even though we've been peeking under those veils for a while, the rest of the world is going to be having that shown to them. We are coming to this recalibration of our higher dimensional new world, and we have to learn to be in allowance. It's this return that we're having to our original divine codes and templates. That's us and the planet as we come home to self, as we come home to soul, back to love, back to this integration, or back to love and this integration of our higher consciousness. As we turn into homoluminous and our planet returns to her bejeweled world of light, and in our minds we are served to let go of the mental aspects. So the divine masculine, they have been doing that. They have been unfurling their patterns, their programs, the paradigms, those things that have held them in their rigidity, their ancestral lines, their mothers and fathers' codes and expectations. this now becomes the experience of the collective. So I want to say, be mindful to not repeat the old. And this is our biggest challenge right now, is to let go of all of the old, to make sure we don't have any attachments to it. This morning, when I went into Gaia's cave, there was this experience of another expansion. We are in huge expansion within ourselves and within the planet. I noticed that the hexagonal nets in the sky were finer and smaller, with like finer lines today. Yes, I thought this wall had opened up in Gaia's cave. This kind of like she's had an addition made in the wall of the Emerald and Sapphire cave, and she was in, well, the easiest way to describe it is she was dressed in what appeared to be the equivalent of Swarovski crystals. So they were just all over her, and this, she had like a veil and a gown, and she was like the equivalent of the bride in this Swarovski gown. Yes, time. So we have had, it's so hard to describe. We've had this dimensional shift, and we're really in the navigation of it in a very physical way. So it's come in, it's a bit like it's split open, or is splitting open, and we are, I think a lot of struggle, but let's not be in struggle, but we're challenged by this. We're in our brand new world, and it's like it's kind of stretching and pulling apart, and so we can be there or we can be here, but we definitely are on the bridge. So I want to be saying to you to be focusing on the higher dimensional consciousness. So this is what I wrote today. Hello, homoluminous Gaians. Are you feeling the excitement or the sorrow and the grief, the waves of bliss or waves of anxiety? Are you feeling numb, or are you feeling enlivened? The old or the what is possible? What is potent, powerful, potential, or the doom and gloom of your projection? Definitely we are in choice time about this. Definitely we are at a choice point. Are we traversing into embodying and embracing our new fifth dimensional frequency and higher consciousness? Or are we going to get caught up in the old? Where do you wish to head? What do you want to embrace? How does your new earth look, feel, sound, and operate? What are its values? Are you able to let go of all that was, to let go of the old, of the past? And can you sit and pause in the 0 point, in the stillness, and observe? Just observe. Observe what you see, feel, and hear. Maybe you are sitting in the silence. Just allow it all to be. Sit silently in the midst of the energies and in your own point of focus. Watch for the stillness. Listen for the silence and feel for the ease. And then sink into that. And then sink into that. So you're sinking in with your body, and you're sinking in synchronicity. And allow the next to arrive and arise, and notice the change. in the energy, in the feeling, the temperature, the speed, the luminosity. So really a useful time to practice that, the art of being the detached observer. Bathe in it, and if you watch it, you'll notice it kind of ripples out. So it's like it's this light, this higher light that has, I don't know, it has more everything really. It has more speed, more luminosity, it has more crystalline, it has this, this stillness, this sense of presence and being present. And it's like coming into us to be, another rebirth in a way, but it's different. So it's like it's coming into us to sit in our center, just like it is in the center of the planet. And then it's as though it's expanding out. It's expanding out and moving through us, touching everything. And the same with the planet. It's touching everything. It's lifting everything. It's enabling everything to come into the higher consciousness. And so some are going to feel very unsteady about it, very wobbly about it, holding on to the old, and we've just got to let go. We've got to let go of the old so that we can move into the new. So today, and I know I wrote a little bit about this in some places, everything will feel, this is what Guy said, everything will feel enhanced today. Enhanced, exaggerated, exacerbated, and expanded. An experience of everything being reflected back at you from 1,000 mirrors. And be the observer as the old illusions and the old realities shatter. Even the old pillars of the world were showing up as shattering today. So we are in the extraordinariness of bridging two realities as we hold space for observing the old reality crumble, dissolve, and fall away, whilst paradoxically beginning to focus, to feel drawn and pulled to the new. So just be with this today. We're in the evening here, but it's definitely here. For me, it's got gentler during the day. And then place your focus on the new version of you. So it's just a little bit at a time. It's just this readjustment, this seeing in the mirror, the seeing what's reflected to you, and then just making this little adjustment. And do it through your heart, remember, not through your mind. The mind will bring you into suffering. The mind is excellent at that. It's genius at it. So you've got to drop into your heart and feel it through the sensory experience of your body, but not in your head. So do this through your heart. Let your heart be your compass. Let your heart be your guide. It's your ultimate truthometer as well, and that's going to be coming in to be very useful. Everything is being activated at the moment. This light is shifting consciousness everywhere. So we are really being asked to explore this greater sensitivity that we hold, especially in our hearts. And we are heading into the Sirius Stargate, or the Sirius Gateway. So that's July the 3rd to the 7th. So that's this gateway. It opens up between the Earth and Sirius. It's Noah and Sirius. We can call that our spiritual sun. So it is helping. I mean, honestly, I love this. I love finding out this. I love finding out that what is happening astrologically supports what it is that Gaia has given me energetically. But this time is helping everyone to awaken, to activate and elevate. And that's for all of us to go to higher levels of consciousness, for the vibrations to heighten, for spiritual advancement. And remember that, as I said earlier, Gaia has said that the 777, so that's the seventh, the energy of the seventh, will be the biggest energy we've ever had to the earth. So this energy is useful for us to use for inspiration, for innovation, for some creative endeavor. So if you have the calling to do something creative, then, during this week would be a good time. And I really believe that if you can give yourself some quiet time this week, it will be useful. But this energy in the head, so it's been coming in a lot of ways, but I want to say it's because it has this expansion effect that it creates pressure on the cranium. And so it's like the more that you can drop it down. So you can do, I'll do a bit of light language in a moment for that, but the more that you can just, just get it to be moving through your body. So as you're breathing in and then as you're breathing out, you're enabling it to be pushed down through your body. You can be envisaging and calling in the beings to be pulling the energy out through your feet. Something I read that Jason Estes said the other day was that if you take your big toe and your big toe, and if you stretch in here, that helps open up the energy to come through your feet. This here, of course, is it's the same in here as well. I mean, you can do it through your hands as well, but massaging in the stomach to move the energy, because often it gets caught in people's stomach. In the head, let's think about in the head. Essentially we get the energy stuck in our head because we're still very much in our thinking minds. And I can tell you that I'm just have had such a massive experience of that throughout my awakening. And so when I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. It's excruciatingly painful. I felt that I was in a torture chamber. I felt that I was in a torture chamber for 3 weeks when I had my I don't know what level of awakening it was. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let's rub our hands together. Let's build up some energy in there. And we'll try this. I tried this for the first time with somebody yesterday and it worked. And hold your hands here. Okay, so I'm just transferring the energy that I've got into each of you. If you want to open up and receive it, there's a lot of tingling coming from the hands, like surprising actually. We are calling in Mother, Father, God, Creator God. We're calling in our guides and teams of angels. We're calling in Saint Germain and Lady Nada, who oversee the seventh ray. And we're asking for their guidance. We are inviting the skull, the cranium, to slightly soften, to expand, to let go of any tension. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now swap your hands. So you got one at the back and one at the front of the third eye. Ishia nakanasi etia, ishia toyara, ikiatiana, Esya toa kya nashi tara kana satiyana I ashia ti anara ikiyanahi arasi Esya kuya takana patakata titishia nara kana sititi atoyara kana shititi akatiki ashiyanara Ityakanara, Ityasi, Ityasiri, Shisaho. So inviting those energies to soften and flow. Surrender them to the body. The head doesn't need to know. So this is a really big construct that is being challenged at the moment. This is the big construct that can be holding us up here, is to give up the need to know. Give up the need to know when are we going to roll over into our new, in many ways. Give up the need to know when is a whole lot of the collapse going to happen. Just be in the knowing that it is all moving. We can see it. We don't know the end point, but we can see the movement and the motion. So let go of the need to know. Let go of the need to have contrast, to have duality, to be right or wrong or black or white, in or out, up or down. Just be totally in the surrender of it all as a construct. Just letting it go. Just letting it become floppy and soft and collapsing. So just imagine that within you, all of these parallel boards that hold you in these constructs are just collapsing, 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 like a building on demolition, all the way down. And relax. And then we just invite the energies of Earth to be pulling this down for those who are having trouble, pulling it down into the Earth more. Feel that tingling under your feet, with your feet flat on the floor. Remember that you are in the midst of embodiment of all of yourselves, all of your multidimensional selves. It's massive. It's a big, big job that you are doing. This embodiment of self, this coming home to self. So huge awareness also coming for those who are awakening, for the divine masculine who of course are awake. So they're just kind of coming into their alignment and readiness, this clarity that's coming for them very strongly. This decision making that aligns them with truth, or as my friend Carol says, true heart's kiss. I think that's what she channeled. That this is coming home to our true heart's kiss. It's beautiful, but it's coming home to self and coming home to this divine aspect that is this reflection of us, our other component. if we've come here to traverse this divine counterpart journey. I'm just feeling a lot of energy for, I'd say, quite a few of you in the belly. Maybe just put one hand on the belly, give it a bit of a rub it in a circular motion, clockwise. And then back the other way. Okay, so remember that the jaw holds anger, resentment in its strongest energies, and in the softer ones it can hold anxiety. Okay. Take some breaths, see if you can feel some energy bubbles moving. My body feels quite taut, actually. I don't have any pain, but it feels taut, feels tight, feels a bit like well blown up balloon. Okay, so I want to teach you this reflexology, which balances the iliosequal and the Houston valves. They are the elimination valves, and often when energy gets stuck, that can be a useful tool. So you use this motion, this chopping motion like that, and you use both hands and you put it in your groin. So, can I show you? In here, like in this part where the tops of your legs and the edge of your pelvis. So in there, so you're going to rub in there. You do that with both hands, back and forth like that for 30 seconds. Okay, so you're rubbing in there for 30 seconds. You just take some breaths and relax. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Okay, next is this. Crossover. Rub up and down the outer of the upper arms, 30 seconds. Take some breaths. Okay. And then the third one is you use your hands in the back of your neck and you rub up and down on the back of your neck. Sure, I just saw a feather or something that just dropped, or an orb. I'll have to go back and look at that. Okay, and you do that for 30 seconds and you do 3 rounds of it. Okay, so groin, crossover, back of the neck. So you can continue doing that. So I want to say to you that I know that we've had so many kind of rebirth moments. The divine masculine, so they have been reset, and now, it's interesting because it's the story that I've been telling is, that the divine masculine lead the way for the collective. And so now So you remember I said how they were coming into this dissolution of the mental mind. The constructs that sit in their mental mind, that are those paradigms and programs that they've been given by their mothers and their fathers and their family lines, their lineage, their culture, about what men in our family do, how men in our family behave, what men from our culture, from our religion, from our town, from our geographic region, what they do, how do they demonstrate being a good man, a good father, a good partner, a good member of the community. But they are and have been in this, looking at them in this movement with them, and love wins the day. And so they've been in this internal dialogue with self to come to grips with that. And so a lot of those old paradigms that don't really hold water, because the old relationships have been based on what we can call a transactional exchange. And we are moving into unconditional love. We are moving into higher ways of operating where we give, gift, and do for other because of the love. And so they are coming into that recognition, that realization. They are they are preparing to speak. They're preparing to move. They're preparing to speak. And this Sirius Gateway is going to assist them to rise up. So I've been speaking to Gaia about the masculine collective, and you could see, I want to get more about it, but you could, they've come with their light sword now, and their light sword represents them. We are returning to, all of us, and it will come according to where we're at. But on the 7th of the 7th, this is the return of the mastery codes. I don't even know if I've read that. I certainly have written that. Who knows? Maybe I'm in another dimension. For goodness sake. Anyway, so we are coming into our mastery. We are coming into the beings that we really truly are in this higher level. And this is the lots of people who are at this level or who are in divine counterparts are having this experience. And it's like the feminine taking a basket and going into the forest and gathering wild mushrooms and wild flowers and filling the basket, and that each of those, it represents a tone, or it represents a color, or it represents a sound, or it represents a frequency, or it represents a skill or an aspect of genius or another level of mastery, and putting it in the basket. And the divine masculine are doing that with a different metaphor. So they are collecting up the aspects that bring them back to being able to be the knight that holds the sword of light. And so they are often in a physical way, they're moving about, picking up these components that belong to their genealogy. They are letting go of the things that hold them, bind them. Now they are gathering up their skills and gifts from their lifetimes in various places. So a lot of them are on the move at the moment, and we are, as they are, we're coming into, it's like, how I see it is that we're coming into this alignment, we're coming into this higher empowerment, we're becoming taller, at least we're feeling taller in our empowerment, coming into this love-based living, and then this embodiment to another whole level, because we're now in another level of consciousness. The earth is in this higher level of consciousness, and we are dancing with it and learning to dance with it with greater fluidity and flow. And so anything that keeps us a bit stuck, we have to work with it to get it to move. So they are doing that, and they show up to me on the spectrum, of course, but a lot of them have, I want to say, extreme clarity. They have extreme clarity about who they are and who their divine counterpart is, and where that's going. I have something here that I just thought was great that Carolyn 144 GODCODE wrote yesterday. So she wrote, the Sirius Stargate Portal is open and will be peaking July 4th to the 7th. This energy is maximizing the 777 portal energies and also activating the 88 LIONSGATE Stargate. So we're not even going to go near talking about the LIONSGATE because that's just going to be off the charts this year. The Sirius Star directly aligns with Orion's belt to the Aldebaran Star, where masculine energy secretes. It's pretty amazing. I'll see if I can copy and paste into the thread in case you can't find it. Let me read that again. The Sirius Star directly aligns with Orion's belt to the Aldebaran Star, where the masculine energy secretes into the cosmic womb of the Pleiades, which births the chariot that travels to Andromeda. This is the lineup of the Cosmic Holy Grail and the alchemical creation of the galactic divine masculine and feminine Christ. And so this is what we are coming into. This is what is heralded for us on the 777. This is us returning to our goddess codes that I spoke about before, the holy codes, the holy breath, the triangulation of the masculine, feminine, and divine holy child. This is our returning to our divinity. This is our returning to our mastery. This is our preparation for ascension to another level. And so all the astrology sits here as this incredible support for the energies that we've been speaking of. During the next 2 months, our masculine and feminine creation abilities can be harnessed and amplified through this lineup. These union energies are maximizing merger into oneness through the heart chakra and new earth love. Once complete, we will leave these energies more independent from the control structures of the 3D, 4D, and be more prepared for 5D union with the Most High, ourselves, and our divine counterparts. Well, I just think that's just sublime, amazing, fantastic, and beautiful. And thank you, Carolyn. Yes. So I noticed in here that some of you are talking about the syncs. I'll come back to the chat. This, I think yesterday I screenshot my iPad, and yesterday was the 1st of the 7th, and it was at 1:11. And then I think I got 11:11 and then 11:44 and then 1:11 a.m. On the 1st of July. The number syncs are going off. The masculine are being given all of these little syncs. There's a lot of dream time stuff, like I spoke about the other day. They are beginning to be in their dream space that's connecting them up to their higher consciousness. All right, so hello, Sweet C, Beachweave, and Charlotte. Hello, Ebby. So Ebby, not enjoying the energy. I know. Yeah, they're strong. They're very strong. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better after that exercise and that light language. We are going to lose a lot of people during this time because the energies will be too much for them. But remember that souls are eternal. Yeah, thanks, Sweet CC. Yeah, they definitely are intense. Hello, Donna Jean and Nicole. Feeling excited for this. Well, I hope that you got something that was exciting. I feel excited. I'm like, it's that energy of knowing that something amazing is coming, but not knowing when. It's like when you're a kid. Well, we used to get like this anyway. It's like when you're a kid and your grandparents are coming to stay, and you don't know when they're turning up because they haven't told you. You just know that they're coming today. It feels like that to me. It feels like that about the divine masculine. It feels like that about ascension. It feels like that about potential, lockdowns going into days of darkness, which will be part of the reveal. It feels like there's more and more truth coming out. It feels like there's more and more ridiculousness. There's a lot of ridiculousness, which is all designed to wake people up. And so I'm just seeing more and more and more of that. Beach weave, extremely bizarre and painful. Well, certainly I can appreciate that. That that post I wrote about the energies, was that yesterday or I think that might have been yesterday. There was definitely this whole sensation of like not being able to feel at ease, being pulled back and forth and nothing coming in and into balance. And when I tuned into that, I really got that whole notion about these different frequencies. But I got shown that there were three. So the Earth, the planet, as a frequency, the general collective that is on the edges, the beginning edges of awakening, and then those of us who are already awake and conscious and kind of ready to go, that we were each on different frequencies. And so it had to come into calibration, had to come into alignment, had to come into that another reset. And so that's why today has felt very still, because we've come into that, but we haven't embodied it. That's what I want to say. So yesterday we had all of that kind of discombobulation, and then today we've come into the stillness of it as we are integrating, or it's being integrated, or the energies are being calibrated, and then we'll come into the embodiment. And so I believe that that's what we'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll feel sort of more settled with it, more calm with it, more embodied with it, and then we'll be able to open up to the next level of energies. Hello, Tina. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Amanda. Hours where I thought must be in 5D. Now then, I've come back to normal. Quite odd. Oh, I think that's perfect. I think that's exactly what we're doing. It's like a little trial run over there, and then in a way, it's like a little trial run over there. It's quite exciting, and then it's like, oh, well, what do I do now? So we run back to home base, and home base is here, where we're at now. And so we can be more courageous, because as we know what it is, we can be more courageous. We can go there and we can stand in it, we can feel it, we can play with it, we can see what's going on. Hello, Larissa and Mandy. The other thing that is interesting is that Gaia spoke about, all of the fires running through the veins of the earth, and that we would see, because we see what's going on in the earth goes on in us, and our bodies have been heating up, but we've been seeing fires erupting around the place. It's very difficult to know whether that, which side that's from, if you like. There's a bit of both going on, and just don't get caught up in it. Just be safe. Artdo girl saying, time seems really weird and condensed. Felt in a funk today, waking at 4:44. Yep, well, that's a good master number, isn't it? And that's a foundational number. I've been seeing a lot of 4:55 or 4:45. So that to me is about foundational change. Hi, Andrea. Hello, Dawn. Head and ear pressure. Oh, you remember cupping your ears, making them feel warm. That can be helpful, feeling at peace and trust and excited. Oh, yeah, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's feeling excited. Hi, Kathy. She's finally got to a live chat. Hope you're all doing okay, stumbling on. Yep, much love back to you in Oz. Okay, Phoenix. When a child is born, who sings that? That was not a very clear tune. I can hear the tune, but I can't sing it right at this minute, it would seem. Oh, that's it. Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Is that it, or is it something else? Maybe that's a different one. Keeps coming into my consciousness. Yeah, what was it? It came the other day for me. Oh, there was that Ain't No Stopping Us Now. That came a few days ago. I might have posted about that one. I can't. And there was another one that came for me. Hello, Jasmine. Happy to have you here as well. I'll always remember us this way. He's been playing on the airwaves everywhere. Oh, from a star was born. A child was born. Yeah, so we're right in this rebirth. We're right in this exploration of the new, the higher, the reason why we came here. We've been having these little incremental upgrades. There's still, I believe, there's still may be a big flash. There'll be something that perhaps sort of, sends us to sleep because the impact of it's so strong. But we've been really developing our fitness in terms of what's been coming off the sun. Hello, Helen. Oh, yeah, that's lovely, Charlotte. Charlotte's saying, yes, that's exactly the energy of being, the moment of joy, knowing it is all happening and it doesn't matter when. So this is like I feel it's the divine feminines. Well, could we possibly risk it and say last hurrah? But the last hurrah is this absolute total trust that it is set up, that it is divinely orchestrated, that there is nothing for us to do but be in our hearts, be in love, exude joy, hold ease and peace for the collective, and know that the divine masculine is off gathering his jewels for his hilt of his sword of light. Oh, that's quite nice. That hadn't come before, but I think that's rather lovely. Gathering his jewels for the hilt of his sword of light. And the sword of light shows up very much if you're new here. Like I've seen this a couple of times now. I still don't have all of the components of it. Guy gave me all of this other stuff today. And I posted, by the way, that's just reminding me that I put a PDF in the community, on the community board, on the channel of the of Archangel Michael's get up with the sword and the shield and the sandals and the belt. So that can be it's the armor of God. So you can go in there and do that. Those of you who are feeling I know that there are some of you who are feeling vulnerable or feeling like you are being attacked. That might be something that gives you some support for that. Dawn seeing lots of 22, 44, 55, 11, 11, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, hallelujah to that, honestly. Johnny Mathis, is he the singer of that song? So yeah, we just have to be, like it's hard to be. Sometimes it's hard to be grateful when we're in pain, but I feel like we have been gifted the most incredible, the most glorious present that we could ever have, and that is that we got to be here. We got to be here for this, and we're on the edges of it. We can see it, taste it, smell it, hear it, and it's that close. And then we can be in the new. So right now we're in this time of just like letting all the old go. So just anything that comes up, just have a look at it and let it go. And then we're focusing on the new. How do we want to live in our new world? How are we going to rearrange, remanage, resort, assist? Certainly there are lots of people who have assignments or have reassignments for that, for purpose and mission, and we're there. Also, if you haven't looked at, I think I posted it on the Facebook channel. If you haven't looked at Rick Dewar's, the GPMS, the Global People's Monetary System, it's he holds the energy of the Christ. He had a walk-in experience of that, and he talks about, he has conversations with the Father. The Father gives him instructions. This was all a surprise to him. Was all a surprise to him. He didn't come to the earth knowing that in a conscious way. He got awakened and told that and had a walk-in experience. And so one of the things that he is doing, that he is talking about, brings freedom to everybody. And certainly you can, if you read it, you can see the logic behind it. And certainly that is what Guy has said, is that when everyone has enough wealth, enough prosperity, that all their basic needs are met, greed and fear can leave the earth. And so what he has put together with a guy called Lee Mudgway, who is from the UK, is this idea of collecting signatures from humanity, and that when there are enough signatures on there, that it's like the majority rules. So it's like when there's enough of a collective to say, yes, we want to engage in our world, on our planet, using money in this way, then the energetics of that in terms of universal law demands that it be so. So have a look. His name is Rick Dewars, Jewers, GPMS. They have a website, gpms.world, I think that's what it is. Global People's Monetary System, gpms.world. And there's a little introduction that you can read to get a picture of it, and then you just put your name and a couple of details in there. And so they have been collecting signatures for a few years now. They are close. They're close to what. So I think I heard Rick say the other day that something about 40%. I think that's what he's talking about. That when there's a 40%, that's enough. Anyway, you don't need to take my word for it. But I've been, watching him, following him, having some bits of dialogue with him, and I feel the truth of it. But you go and check in on that. There's nothing, you don't have to give anything other than a few of your details. And they're talking about the children having those rights. So, we're in, it's got very mucky and murky, hasn't it? The education system has the whole trans thing, has the whole LGBTQ something plus. It's got bigger. And there's a lot of in-your-face stuff that, yeah, well, you can make your own judgments about it. But I think it's provocative. I think it can come from a number of angles, but there's a lot to come out, and we here, we probably have known it for a long time, but we are watching it come out. There are a lot of lists of names of people who have passed from, who are billionaires and millionaires. That there's a lot of people who have passed from Hollywood. There's a lot of clones and fakes and doubles and all the rest of it, and all of that. To me, all of that has been held to assist the game, if you want to call it a game, the play, to continue whilst the set has been changed and all under the stage has been cleaned out and realigned. And the people who are watching, some of them know and some of them don't. But this is so that it can be revealed, and we're in this absolute truthing thing. Okay, so the video playback, I want to tell you what that is. That is nothing to do with me. That is all to do with YouTube. And so it's because I do this as a live. And so when I end the stream, YouTube goes into processing. I don't do anything. All I do is end the stream, and then YouTube goes into processing. And sometimes it can take up to 8 hours on my system to buffer my own video, and that's through YouTube. And so all I can say to you is to what other people have done is that they leave it for 12 or 13 hours after the live completes, and then they go in and it's fine. So there's nothing that I can do about that unless I stop doing lives. So I wanted to ask you that. You know, I'm curious about that. Do you want to know about? Would you prefer me to just do a pre-recorded, or do you want me to keep doing lives? I also wanted to ask you, what was the other thing? I can't remember. I'll have to look in my notes. There was something else I wanted to ask you. So yeah, so that's the only suggestion I can make. I have really good equipment, and I've had my IT guy look at it. Someone suggested trying to record it at a lower level. I could try that, but when I spoke to him about that another time, he said, no, don't do that. So yeah, I'm really happy to receive suggestions. The video is continuously freezing. So Pride Blom, you mean now? You mean right now the video is freezing? Okay. Yeah, it might be your system. I know that people say, oh, we don't have it with any other video, but I just, you know, I do. I have good quality equipment, and I'm just using the setup that YouTube provide for YouTube creators in terms of their system. All right, so Craig, what did you do? Did you do something different? Did you talk to your computer? Right, the other thing, as I'm in that silence, that I want to say to you is the ears. There's I said to a friend of mine, it's like a child. It's like sitting on the ground and a child coming up and cupping their hands around your ears and speaking a secret into the ears. I'm having that kind of experience. It's like, and it's this movement into my ear, but for me, it's mostly the right ear. Anyway, sending you lots and lots of love. Our hearts are being blown open. Our destiny, our mission, our purpose, our love, it's all on its way. Oh, Craig's saying, change nothing, just think it's some weird YouTube issue or possibly interference. It only happened to me with spiritual YouTube channels. Okay. Hi, Nicole. Oh, God, I'm glad you love the lives. I really enjoy them. But, I think that, to be honest, that there's a powerful group of beings who come on the lives, and so we are able to hold amazing space. So I want to say there's still rescuing of children going on from the tunnels, but it is likely that that's close to the end. There is the whole Schumann resonance, so that's been going off. So it's happening. We have to be not getting caught up in the timing of it, just to know that it will be perfect. And if you are, so I know that a lot of the divine feminines are feeling stretched and tired and over it, and I think that's all part of it. When you get over it, you collapse, right? You collapse into the 0 point. You give it away. You surrender it. You hand it over, and you let it go to another level of surrender. And I believe that's been a big mission for the divine feminine, to really be able to drop into surrender. We think we've surrendered, and then something happens, and all of a sudden we recognize, wow, that's been my experience. I should just say it from my point of view. I think I've surrendered, and then something happens, and I think, oh, okay, there's more surrendering. Anyway, lots of love. Enjoy this time. I'm sure I'll be back on. I'm sure. Well, might do my video about the pyramids, actually, because a lot of that stuff's going to come online. And yeah, be gentle with your heads. Oh, remember tapping, that can be getting your nerve endings going on your skull, so you can tap like that, or you can tap like that, but that might help shift some things as well. Much love to you all. Good night.